Hello. How how's it going? Okay. So here we are. Here we are, and it's been a really difficult month. The last week, there's been so much purging going on, so much new stuff coming through, but so much purging. I feel like I'm just like, I don't know if I look at, but I just feel absolutely like I've just finished a race, and I'm just catching my breath. Woke up this morning and realized I had this webinar, had nothing prepared, went onto the YouTube thing, noticed that I'm unable to screen share, but everything is meant to be. So everything is going to work exactly how it's meant to. So I'm told to stop stressing about that. Um, oh my God, Dee. So there's going to be so many changes, and I haven't got the final, like, but things are getting very exciting in relation to this divine blueprint activation. Um, and it becoming super streamlined, and everything that we've worked so hard for over 3 years. It's still like we're still, things are still moving and changing, and so for those people who are, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Hey, I'm just in this really weird pocket of energy, and like the last couple of days where I've been like connecting and talking to my Christ self and source, or whatever you want to call it. And it's just like, well, what's going to happen in this webinar? How are we going to do it? And I just keep getting nothing, right? It's just like, you just do what you do. You just sit down in front of the camera, and whatever comes out is meant to come out, because we are in this ascension here, right? On planet Earth. And things are changing, right? Things are happening behind the scenes, right? And what we need to do is just keep standing in our light, doing our inner work, and following that inner guidance, right? Um, Being in the now, I'm just seeing now in big, we know how precious that now moment is. And I mean, there's plenty of spiritual, plenty of stuff out there that speaks about this now moment, and how precious it is. But um, it's I'm just getting the word misinformation, and misinformed, because we don't have the full truth, okay, of what it actually means. And I don't know. See, I chose to do this webinar. See, I'm still like, so D, you know what I'm like. And for people who are watching the replay of this, um, this has been a very difficult time for me. Um, there's been It's been amazing, but equally like very dark and difficult. Um, right now, I'm feeling so strange. Like I'm feeling like when you're very tired, like there's a blanket over your eyes, like that, a blanket over your eyes. But that's what I feel. I feel this very heavy, heavy energy. And I'm not sure where it's coming from. I'm not sure if it's just this information that's going to come out, that's making me feel those symptoms. I'm not sure if it's like these things that are surfacing within me for this part of the journey, that's making me feel like that. I'm not quite sure, but hopefully, Christ self, you're going to freaking explain this to me and us. Okay, so February 2019, this was introduced to myself. Prior to that, I was healing, right? Using various ways to heal, creating ways to heal that I intuitively received, right? 2014, I began Reiki. Um, okay. So I'm getting told to go back, right? So in 2006, and I'm hoping people can connect with this because I'm wondering if people have had awakenings and what they've been like, and maybe that's a really good thing that we can like talk about in the comments and compare, right? Now we don't compare ourselves to others, but it's fun, and it's one of those things that we get to connect because other people may have similar stories to us. So, okay, so it makes sense to me now why I had the awakening I did in 2006. It really was going from a very dark side of who I was to experiencing the light, like the polar opposites, because we are in this realm. And this whole polarity, this duality type thing, light and dark, good and bad, um, male, female, all those types of polarities. And oh, okay. So and now I'm being told to talk about the now moment because that is when we are in our unity. Okay, thank you. I was wondering. Anyway, so we are in this polarized reality, light and dark working together, right, to create this physical realm in which we see, right? And now we have the knowledge and the space that has been opened to be able to unify and connecting with this crystal spiral. Now, Dee, this is a very new thing that has come through because Dee, you personally have been with me on this journey, assisting me and supporting me energetically and seeing what our Christ avatars have next for us. And as we have healed, as we have raised frequency, myself and collectively, we've got access to new information. So it's been very interesting this whole 3 years. What we have been doing without knowing what we were doing at the time was we were, hang on, let me have some water. Hacking our way out of the matrix, right? And like, it's been very interesting because like, it's all about being in that now moment. And we were using this source code, the tools, the attunement that was given to us, right? And I'm getting told that I uncovered, right, by doing my work and tuning into my mission, right? So all along this journey, it's been myself uncovering this and then sharing this with my collective, right? So we can keep moving forward. That's what we need to do. Like, there's so many people out there and controlled by various matrix programs that believe that they're going to just by worshipping the God of the Bible, I'll get zapped up to heaven or some bullshit like that. But it takes inner work and healing, right? So there's so many matrix programs that have been created to limit, right? To keep people in that little bubble, that little, I'm getting Garden of Eden, right? That little false world, that little simulation, like that little thing that was created. Okay, now I'm getting physical realm. I started talking about my awakening and we've gone totally off path, but I think we're going to get back to that because we know how I speak in spirals. So if you're just new to me, you will see how this information comes out because it's very much like a spiral. And the way that Christ and Source, this crystal realm, right, communicates is very much in this spiral pattern, right? So yeah. Okay. So what I'll do is I won't interact with comments live. I'll come back and I'll talk to them after we get, like, I'll reply to them but yeah, it's all about starting that conversation and really connecting, because that's what this new earth is all about, right? And this, yeah, it goes so much deeper to that, than that, like the new earth. And that's what I've come to notice or learn just recently. Just recently, this last week, I have been jam packed with all this new knowledge, and it's very hard to navigate, because there's a lot of new things, new lessons coming through. Um, but that's something that, when we have our Patreon at the beginning of next month, I'll be sharing, and we will be getting some amazing new, um, like, when you join forces with myself, through my Patreon, um, you're connecting in with me energetically. I'm allowing that connection, and I share, um, you know, share a part of me with you, right? Um, because it's all a part of this journey and this unfolding. And, things that content created 2 months ago, things have totally changed and expanded into something so new, so beautiful. So, yeah, um, I'm always growing and evolving and changing. And that's what this journey is all about. That's what we need to do. Like, if you're sitting in this pocket right now, and you think that you are where you, like, you're quite comfortable, right? You're stagnant and you're stuck, right? Because this is all about pushing the boundaries and being uncomfortable, right? Like today, like I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, like what the hell? Like I just, like, it's like I have to sit there and do a webinar, and I had no idea what I was doing, because my Christ self is like, no, you just sit there and do what you do. What comes out will come out. You're a vessel for this frequency, so you just share. Right now, I feel there's so much surfacing for me to be purging and releasing. I feel that information won't be as clear, but Patreon next month, when we get access to that higher frequency, and we'll be able to heal on that, myself and collectively, that's when I get that new, like that's when these new levels start. It's very, very interesting the way that this all works. And this is the Ascended Masters path. This is the divine blueprint activation. This is us hacking our way out of this false reality, this inorganic timeline. Okay, this is about understanding that we are the true creators, and we are not going to create for that, that that dark being anymore. But this is the thing. Yeah, I want to give kudos to that dark being that created this physical realm, because hey, our consciousness gets to come here, incarnate into these skin suits and experience this physical realm. Like, we are source, and we get to incarnate, and just like in a movie, just like in a TV show, we get to experience different things, right? We get to, based on our frequency, interact with this reality. Like, it is amazing. But we are divine beings, and we want to get back to that. Okay, so this is about evolution. This is about evolution alone, right? We need to adapt. Like, we don't want to exist anymore. We don't want to exist in this timeline that where the darkness reigns, where we are these divine beings creating for this dark being, right? Yeah, so I'm just being shown that sine wave, right? And what we are a monad, right? We are frequency. But right now, we have no idea, like, and we are not flowing with the truth of what we are. This physical realm has been created, it's been designed in a way where we are contained, like we are in a box, right? We are, um, we are limited because we do not have the knowledge of ourselves. Okay, now there's many people who will watch this and certain things will happen. They may be triggered, they may not resonate, but what I want you to, I'm just being shown the word negative. I'm just being shown the word negative. These negative feelings, these negative ways in which we feel. Okay, hang on. I don't know what I'm getting. I got negative and I got ways. Okay, so I'm just being told to just go in a little bit about who I am, right? Um, so in 2006, I had that awakening, right? The cosmos opened up to me. Yeshua was that being that came and communicated with myself and told me all this magic, right? Okay, so how it happened. Okay, so how it happened. What? Sorry, I'm just having like they're just telling me what to talk about right now. So in 2000, it's very interesting because they keep making me go back, right? So this, all right. So um, since my incarnation here, right? And since your incarnation here, you've had certain things happen in your life, like timestamps, right? Like big things that you knew had meaning, but you couldn't figure out what the hell they meant, right? That's a big one, right? So we have these timestamps in our timeline, right? And they're breadcrumbs, right? And just like Hansel and Gretel, those breadcrumbs were intended for you to find your way home to source. Wow, that's so cute. I love that. Thank you. So, so these timestamps throughout your timeline, right, are massive, right? They are massive clues for you to be able to hack your way out of the matrix. Because and everything that you have experienced, everything that you have done, that you have been guided to do, has been from your Christ self, right? Now, you may not think right now, or you may you might think, well, I don't, but just like seeds, these things will blossom and you will be like, aha, on this healing journey, right? This is about you understanding who you truly are. And there is code, there is clues throughout your timeline to awaken you, to assist you in your lessons here. They're like books that you open, right? And this is the way that source works, like your Christ self works. And this is the choice that you have, right, to be able to begin your journey, begin your self discovery, begin your self mastery. Get off that old system where you're just existing and begin this program of unfolding and evolving, this growing and expanding multidimensionally. Like, you are an amazing divine being. And what my mission here has been is to uncover this, right? And share it. Okay. And there's many old world programs and beliefs that keep the beings that are meant to evolve and discover themselves and share their magic. There are many programs that will keep you stuck, right? So this is why the leap of faith is so important. You need to trust yourself. You need to believe yourself. And you need to really just try, get uncomfortable, try something new, take a risk. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like they just said, take a risk on me. Okay, so take a risk on me. If you really want to know who you are, I've created a membership where you can receive the lessons from your Christ, from source, and you can have access to the frequency so you can evolve, so you can uncover your magic. Like, that's why I've created that Patreon, right? But right now, yeah, so I'm being taken back to the word blueprint, okay? So there's a couple of ways that I serve, but right now I am giving beings access to this frequency that I have attained, that myself and the founders have worked so hard to access. But it was all pre-written. It's all been meant to be. So, like, we have just had it within us to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. We have introduced people along the way, and they've fallen they've fallen out of alignment with us because they were not doing the inner work. They were not showing up for the wisdom codes, the updates, the live streams that I was doing. So because they didn't access the knowledge and the frequency, they were not healing. They fell out of alignment, right? And it's been those true warriors that just kept showing up for themselves, right? Receiving the wisdom codes, right? Accessing the new source code that was available, and healing, doing the inner work, right? Because since my attunement, since my initiation into this Ascended Masters path, I've had a big responsibility, right? Where I've had to do the inner work, uncover the source code, and then share it with beings. And it's been up to them whether or not they have done the work, because this is up to you, right? This is up to you to do that work and to show up for yourself, to invest in yourself, right? Okay. So I'm just being shown the word free, like free in capital letters. This is us to, oh, my eye just went all funny, become free, right? A cosmic free citizen, right? God sovereign free, right? To understand who we really are and do it together, like contribute towards change here on this planet. When we heal ourselves, we shift the reality. And the more of the light we can bring in an anchor, the more, or the less power that old system will have to reign. I'm just getting rain, because this is all about us dismantling and dissolving that inorganic matrix, right? And okay, I'm going in freaking, so it's taking me here, there, and everywhere, right? So this is about investing in consciousness, right? This is that's a new way of putting it. You are investing in yourself to raise consciousness. There is nothing in that old world matrix system that will enable you to do this, right? Because that is a system built on control, and every single thing and you on that system has been programmed to control, to oppress, to limit, right? So this is when Christ is coming through. This is when we get access to this new program, this new biological upgrade, this new program, right, for us to run off. So I want you to think of the old world and the new world like a computer, right? Like a system, because that's what it is. There are so many different programs on that old world system, and your biology and your consciousness is hacked. Your mind is shattered, it's fractured, right? Everything is out of whack because you are fragmentalized, right? Everything is fragmented, right? This new earth, this new system, this new program is tuning you in to this flow, where you can gather those pieces and become whole, right? This is the ascension of Christ and what it really means. I want you to release all of those ideas of what you think this time is really about, because they are programs, okay? And I just want you to focus in and really feel in your heart space, feel into this, like what I am speaking, right? We are frequency, we are wave, right? We are light, we are sound, we are vibration, we are energy, okay? And it's all about the co, right? The co. This is all one, okay? The co, the C, the O, the co, the code, right? It's all in this. Sorry, they're just making me really try and break it down to you guys so you understand the enormity of this, right? Because I want everyone to be able to evolve, right? I want everyone to be able to heal. I want everyone to learn how to heal themselves, okay? It's the old world system where you go to a healer. You know, we don't need to do that anymore, right? We can heal ourselves more profoundly. Like when you go to a healer, they're only connecting to your higher self anyway. So you are healing yourself anyway. Okay. So let's cut out the middleman and just freaking heal ourselves. Let's learn how to do it in the most powerful way ever. And this new earth way, this new program, this Christ, this crystal frequency way doesn't even compare to anything on the old world matrix program, because the old world matrix program breaks everything down, separates it, segregates it, keeps it in separation, right? Fragmentalizes it, right? This is about the all one way, the big picture, right? What you see here, this is the divine plan rolling out, and I'm sharing that message with you from that realm. Okay, I'm not perfect. I don't look perfect. You know, this webinar isn't perfect because, you know, I was like, well, oh no, I can't screen share. And like, this is raw. This is authentic, right? This is raw and authentic. Okay, it's not got all the bells and whistles and, you know, it's not ego. Okay, this is mind. This is consciousness. This realm is amazing. It's beautiful, right? It's unique to you, right? I'm just saying the word unique. It's unique. They're going into the letters, okay? You. It's all about you, right? Uniqueness. It's all about you. It's all about uniqueness. You don't have to be like anyone, right? You are you. And you have your trail of breadcrumbs to find your way home. And the clues are in this incarnation. On this journey, when tuned into this divine blueprint, you will find out aspects of yourself from past lives and stuff like that. Yeah. But we don't attach to that. Okay. I've found out who I am as an ascended master. I've had a couple of lives where I have been an ascended master. I know who I am, right? My children, same thing. But I don't attach to that because I'm Nadine, right? So I want you to really, this is the life that freaking matters, because we have had so much experience in this lifetime and in past lifetimes, right? Working for this moment where this shift happens, right? So I don't like, and this is it. Humans attach to so many things, and in this attachment, they limit themselves. And it's this ego that makes them do it. Okay? Now, the ego has its place, right? But it needs to be balanced. and we need to help you like we need to teach you how to balance that ego, right? Because ego is fear, right? Ego, I'm just getting fear. I'm just saying the word fear. Now I'm sorry. I just have to laugh sometimes because of the way they bring things through, right? So when I talk about they, I'm talking about this crystal realm where we are all one and our Christ selves all working together. Because they're jumping onto a whole new thing. But going back to, oh my God, it's like where the hell am I? Because since all these brand new lessons, I haven't done a live, right? This last month has been insane. I got a bit of a holiday at the beginning of the month because all of our healing in Patreon gave me a bit of stability because we were all working together and we were healing and purging, and collectively we were good, right? So that's an amazing thing that I learned this month. When we all got in that frequency together and did the inner work, life was really great, right? Because we are not just us, right? We are one, right? So we are connected to everyone, everything, right? Cosmically. And we pick up so much stuff and take on so much stuff on board that is not us, but because it's coming through us, it's us, right? You know what I mean? So what we need to be able to do is get into this frequency, this all one frequency, and heal with this crystal frequency so we can have resilience, so we can be more strong, right? So we can be, I'm just getting this like, so before, when I was talking about the ego and fear, they highlighted the word ear, like ear. And then they directed me to these type things. And then they're bringing in the word co, right? So do you get where I'm going there, right? So this is all about frequency and vibration and sound, right? And us together, this is the the communication, right? The vibration of that voice box, right? This ultra major chakra, right? So I've done all the inner work. You guys have had no idea how much work I have done, but this is what the Patreon's for, so I can teach people like moving forward. And because everyone in the Patreon has invested in themselves and they are abiding by those cosmic laws of giving and receiving, right? We receive like way more value in information. Like if you think that some of this stuff in this live is good, or some of the things that I say in my socials is good, you have to join the Patreon to actually see, like, it's a level up, and you get to actually learn how to heal with the crystal frequency and align to this crystal spiral, right? By healing. But you hold the key, and if you're not willing to invest in yourself, well, that's a lesson for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's no good or bad. Like, it's about who chose to come here and do a job, who chose to come here. And it's very interesting. People will spend a lot of money on just dumb stuff, right? Like Netflix subscriptions, going out for dinner, like frivolous things, like the new pair of like freaking shoes that you don't need, like it's just, people will invest in the physical, but they find it very hard to invest in this, in their spirit, in consciousness, in themselves. Oh no, I'm not spending $22 a month. Yet, they'll spend all this other money on, a coffee every day, or you know what I mean? So we need to really, and that was a big lesson that came through for me yesterday, actually, because I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like what I have to offer. No one else in the world has what I have to offer. And we are literally going to like people are going to heal profoundly with this, right? But they won't invest. Why will people not invest in themselves, in their evolution, in their healing? Like, why go and spend money on a healer and a healing session when what they can do themselves is way more, right? Because in these Patreons, I have the source code up. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it up, but I have that tab open because I'm not sure if we're going to go to that in a minute. I'm not sure. But this has taken a lot of work, right, to be able to offer this Patreon. Okay. So this isn't something I just decided to do willy-nilly. Everything that I've done for over 3 years has been guided, like, you have to do this, Nadine, you have to do this, you have to do that, right? This is the plan. You need to do what, everything, every prices, everything has been set, from source, like from this crystal realm, from my Christ freaking self. I don't know. There's so many, from my absolute self. I don't know. There's so many words because I'm in between. I'm learning lessons, right? So everything is guided, right? And this is all about a building of frequency and bringing an anchoring in light. This isn't going 0 to 100, right? This is us organically unfolding and growing multidimensionally, right? This is Nadine just doing what she's told, and Nadine doing what she's told. It's like, Nadine, you are starting a membership, a platform where you can, it's a sacred space, right? A high frequency space where people energetically align and you allow them to connect to you, right? And they can do exactly and release exactly the same things that you can release, Nadine. And what I can release is out of this world. And so by you energetically aligning and connecting to that Patreon space, you are able to release the exact same things. So this is this collective shift, like how we are, and we are aligning with this crystal spiral, right? This is what I've worked so hard for, Dee. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, like the new information coming through. Because on this journey, and I'm going back to being taken back to the blueprint now, and I'll just show you the blueprint. I got it up on my phone because I wasn't unable to screen share it, right? So this is the blueprint. This is the 12 tree grid, all right? And this is the divine blueprint activation, because this is the template that's been used to create this physical realm. And every step, I've had to go through every step and know the information contained within that frequency band. Every step is very important, but that's not something that I'm going to go into. That's what I was told this morning. They were saying, no, you're not going through and talking about every single step. When those beings are attuned and initiated into this, right, through the divine blueprint activation, then they will get taught that, right? So every one of those steps has code, has a message, has a particular frequency, has certain information, right? And we hack our way further out of the matrix, right? Every step has a particular sacred geometry to it, and within that sacred geometry contains lessons, right? It's very interesting. So yeah, it's just a very interesting live, because I had no idea. I woke up and I'm like, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? Um, so okay, so my awakening in 2006, the way that this happened, I was enrolled to university to do my registered nurses. So I was on my way to university. And about, I don't know how many, like 300 meters or something, um, at this particular part of the road, my friend who had passed was with me. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And I kept seeing him in the rear vision mirror smiling. Um, and And then not 100 meters, or I'm not good with distances. I'm really not good. 100 meters, I don't know, it could be 100, could have been 50, I'm not sure. Meters from where he passed, there was a car accident, and all the traffic had stopped. And so I'm just sitting there looking at this car crashed into this pole, and right next to a petrol station, thinking, oh shit. And a car just went right up my ass. And then that's when it started. That's when my awakening started. And then it was like these gates had opened, and it was just all this information coming through. Prior to that, I'd been doing some tarot and talking to my angels and that sort of stuff. But, just trying to basically learn how to do tarot and stuff like that. It wasn't anything like I didn't know what I was doing. I was interested. I was intrigued by that sort of thing. That's when my awakening started. And obviously I didn't get to uni that day because my car was just wrecked. And just a blur. I remember going home and just like getting messages, like the CD player turned on and it was the song that reminded me of my deceased friend. And so many things happened. It was like the veil was lifted, and it was just like spirit, like I was in this spiritual realm. And I was, but no one else was. So I was like this crazy fruitcake, right? I remember like a lady from work, she was on the phone, like she rang up because I couldn't go to work. And I think it was like it would have been like the second day. I must have called in sick or something for work. I don't remember. But then her deceased daughter came through, and I began like she's like making me write this message down. And I was like, oh my God, like everything, like it was just crazy. Like I turned on the TV, Australian Idol was on, and he was like the judge was talking to this guy called Dean, sorry, it was Dean. But it was like a message from the divine for me, like everything. It was just too much, like this input coming in. I remember like my partner at the time, his dad was giving me these messages, and yeah, it was just so much. So and I'd close my eyes to go to sleep, and all I would see was this. Now I know it's this pleroma, right? This blue, like this blue, beautiful blue energy, this ball, right? Oh, it was crazy. I was being told all these things, it's like it was just so obviously because I was this way, it scared the shit out of everyone, right? My partner rang my mum, like, what the hell am I going to do with her? Like, this is crazy. Um, so that was my awakening. And then I was taken into the mental health ward. And it was the most beautiful, amazing time ever, because I had this direct connection, right? With I guess my Christ self, and with source, and just at this core, into the core of creation. Like it was just beautiful. And everything told to me at that time happened. It's come true, right? Between now and then, right? Everything. And there's still things that I was told, and I'm moving towards that, right? I'm accepting my mission, okay? I'm accepting it, okay? And I'm showing that by speaking my truth, and what I have to share is so crazy, right? It just has to be experienced for you to believe it, right? You need to be immersed in this crystal frequency, because that's it. It sounds too good to be true, right? Um, I'm just getting the word dreams. Yeah, I'm just getting the word, like, this is the realm where all your dreams will come true, because there's so many beings right now that have these big ideas, and it's like, but there's a disconnect. And this is us getting to our truth, stepping into our truth, and making all our dreams come true, right? I remember from a very, very young age, I used to just think, like, why can't the world just be peaceful? Why can't people just treat each other with love and respect? Like, I just couldn't understand that. And I remember, like, I'm taken back to this very specific area, like in my grandmother's house, pondering that. Like, I'm taken back to where I'm a child in her backyard, pondering that fact. I know exactly where I'm situated, like I can remember. Like, it's very interesting. Like, they're taking me back to that point, sitting at that very specific spot in her backyard at a very specific angle, looking in a very specific way. It's very weird. But you know, things just, so 2006, my awakening was massive. So I was drugged up to the eyeballs then. Um, but I was diagnosed with bipolar. Okay. And when I got home from the hospital, when I finally got out of there, and I got home from the hospital, um, I was curious because I kept being told that this bipolar and polarity, and I was Googling polarity and bipolar, but I was Googling and into the Google search, like, ask, like, I remember finding this very specific thing which linked the spiritual symptoms that I was having. These symptoms, like, they weren't symptoms, they were fucking amazing. But and yeah, and it made me feel better, because coming from this hush, this medical system, it's like, you got bipolar, highs and lows, right? Like, I knew that's not what it was. Like, I knew 100%, because I just knew. Like, and I'm sure there's many beings that will watch this that have that knowing, that you've always had that knowing. You don't know why you know, but you know, right? So 2006 was big. I was told that I'm going to have a baby boy. And when I was admitted to the hospital, initially my mum made me, like, my mum got them to give me a pregnancy test, and I wasn't pregnant. So then when I went home and everything, and I wanted spirit back, like, I had the most amazing connection, and it felt so, like, colors were brighter. I was so positive. I was excited. It was like this whole new realm. And I wanted to explore it, and the medications cut that off. And so I didn't know I'd be going this deep into my awakening, but hey, I'm sure there's going to be people that will connect with this story. So I went off the meds. I went off the meds. And I remember my partner, he was away for work and he came back. And and then his dad was there, right? So his dad's there, and so my ex was coming back. So I made some food, like, so we could have really nice dinner, bought some beers. The campfire was ready. I just thought, we'll have a really nice night, like a chill night, right? And his dad came through after dinner, when we're sitting at the fire, and And I was trying really hard not to say anything, right? But I'm like, your dad's here. And we had the radio on. And I'm like, well, like he's going to prove to you that he's here. He's going to put his music on all night. And that's what he did. So that night, like there was that. Yeah. So, and I remember my ex, he was like, and I wonder if he remembers that. I'll have to ask him. But anyway, that I believe was the night that my son was conceived. Anyway, so I've gone off the meds and all this sort of stuff, right? And then obviously spirit came back in a big way, right? Big way. So then back to the hospital, Nadine, and on medications again. Again, that cut that off. And I'm not telling anyone to go off the medications, so please don't think that. This is my story. This is me. And this is how my awakening happened, and how now looking back, I can see how my mission unfolded to me. Okay. So what we need to understand is your journey is your journey and my journey is my journey. And the way that we get to source is very different. Okay. So I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm not condoning anything. Okay. Right. So I just wanted to make that very clear. So then I'm saying I'm having a baby boy. I'm having a baby boy. Like that, like spirit told me, like I'm having a baby boy. And so I'm in hospital again, and mum's like, don't bother. She was going on about this last time. And we tested her, she's not pregnant. Anyway, it's funny. 3 months later, I find out I'm 12 weeks pregnant. My belly kept growing, but I just thought it was the medications because I was eating more. And they said that it may muck up, like things like I might put on weight and this might happen and that might happen. So I just thought, because I stayed on the medication that time, that it was medication. So it wasn't until I'm at work and one of the lady goes, that looks like a pregnant belly. Like, have you done a pregnancy test? And I said, no, I haven't. And she goes, I reckon you should, because it looks like, she goes, you're just popping out like it's a pregnant belly. And I was like, yeah, I think it's a medication, but I will. And then I did, and I was, and I'm like, what the hell? Went for the ultrasound or the blood test and the ultrasound, and they're like, you're 3 months pregnant. So I was like, wow. So I had to give up cigarettes, didn't I? And I went and got hypnotized and found that got off really easy. I found that really interesting. But and then I had my baby boy. Yeah, and then I had my baby girl down the road, like told. And although I wasn't, like, I had times where I'd connect with spirit, but like, especially I remember when my son was like 18 months old and I started going for walks and I was writing. I might have started the tarot again, and then spirit would come back in a big way. So I'd stop again. But I got to be a mum, and that was a very important period that I had where I got to be mum, right, from 2007, and then to 2014 is when I began healing. I really got to this point where I wanted to reconnect with spirit, but I needed guidance to do that because I was scared that what happened last time with my awakening would happen again. And now I had children, so I couldn't, I couldn't risk that. You know what I mean? Although it was amazing and wonderful, like I needed to do it in a safer way. Right? Not going 0 to 100 like happened in my awakening. So 2014 was when I began healing. I went and saw a psychic who was very highly recommended. I actually saw her at a psychic fair and I'd heard about her. And I sat down and my friend Conway came through. And, we were soulmates in this physical. And I did a Ouija board when I was 16, and told about his passing and how he would pass. He would die on the way to Shelley's. We thought it was Shelley's disco. I didn't realize it was the road that went to Shelley's. And everything that was said in that Ouija book came true. And a week before he passed, he came to me and he's like, everything that you told me from that Ouija board, it's all true. I found this and this, like everything. It was really strange. And he was upset for some reason. And it was really weird. Like, we really bonded and told each other how much we loved each other, like as soulmates, as friends, not as romantic. Because we had that bond. It was a really strange bond from the moment that we met. And so he's been there on the other side, right? And we're still working together. So it's really cool. It's really, I mean, it's not cool because, in the physical realm, but if he's in the physical realm, who knows? Like, I don't talk to anyone that I used to talk to anymore. So still talk to him, but he's in spirit. But we came from that realm where we had a job to do and we needed to connect and we needed to have certain things happen within our lives, in our incarnations. Just like those breadcrumbs that I was talking about. So where was I going? So this is very interesting, the way that this webinar has gone. I'm very I'm hang on a second. I'm getting come through, like information, input, interest. Is introspect a word? Introspect? And how it's being introduced to you, like this webinar, this Ascended Master's journey. It's kind of beautiful because the Ascended Master's journey, for those, when this is even available, this divine blueprint activation is not available right now. We have the founders that are in certain parts of this journey. It's just very interesting the way they come through, because this is about you and your path, right? This is how you I'm seeing EV, the word like E and V. All right, so I'm getting like a word, like 3 words come through: everyone, everything, and evolve. Right? So everyone, everything, and evolve. Those 3 words. The EV. So part of hacking my way out of this matrix, I've had to understand like how this physical realm is created, like what builds this illusion and how this illusion is constructed. Language, letters, symbols. Letters are symbols. They have stories. They have code contained within. Yeah. So I'm just getting the constructs of reality, right? So this Ascended Master's path, this divine blueprint activation, this initiation into the divine, right, is all about you tuning into you, right? This isn't you doing what Nadine did to ascend. No, 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 no. This is about you understanding that this is about you and your path, your unique path, right? That's the only way beings are going to move into this new frequency Earth. That is the only way beings are going to integrate to this new frequency Earth, right? This is the choice. This is a fork in the road that you have. Like, and I'm opening the doors to this frequency through Patreon. And those beings that join that Patreon one day, maybe will get that chance to be initiated into this blueprint activation, right? Right. So I don't know, like that's the thing, like I don't have all the answers. Like I don't know what we have to do, how much light we have to anchor until you can uncover your receive this and be initiated to this and begin your uncovering of this ascended master's path. Like I'm being told in the future beings will get to like the opportunity to become one, become an ascended master, like walk this path, become this solar rishi, right? Become all, right? And embrace the divine, and understand that you are this freaking divine infinite being, and you get to experience that incarnate on this physical realm. Like this being, right, that created this physical realm, this dark being, right, this dark being that people fear, and oh my god, and so much confusion and judgment, and like he created this physical realm. Okay, we get to be these conscious beings incarnate in this physical realm. Before this being created this physical realm, it was just mind. That's all it was. Until Sophia had a thought to create. And she created this being who created more archon, like this archon, right? Who created more archons, who created demons. This darkness coming into to create those blockages, those blocks that that fragmentalization, the frag. I'm just getting the word frag, like frag. Oh my God, stop it, guys. That whole fractal experience. I'm being told to say frag, and that fractal, like that building, like that. Oh my God, stop it. So we have this simulation now, okay? We have this simulation now where we can interact and we can explore just like a video game, right? But we need to understand how the video game is designed, and we need to get the upgrade. We need to get the energetic update to be able to navigate this new system, right? So we have the old system that is, it's just old. It's outdated. It's like a Windows 98. I haven't used one of them for a while. It's a piece of crap, right? What we have now is this new. Oh, I'm just seeing this. I'm seeing processor, like, and I'm getting like processing power and like power. The word power. P-O. Just a second. Just 1 second. All right. That's it. This is like this new program where you can process so much stuff to be able to raise your frequency like nothing else in the old world, to be able to align and to move with this crystal spiral, move into and move at that on that path, right, to this new timeline, like to this new earth timeline. There's two paths, right? There's two paths. We have the inorganic matrix, and we have this, the truth of what we are, like creation, the core of creation. Like we have this fork in the road, right? And my mission here, I had to uncover this knowledge and access this frequency to be able to share this, to give you the choice. Like this is the actual choice, and the one choice that matters. Like, do you want to move into this crystal spiral, into creation, or do you wish to stay in that inorganic matrix and being kept from your truth and just exist, right? So the Fibonacci, the physical, that spiral, I worked with that for quite some time while I was working my way out of this matrix, right? Up until last month or something, I had that Fibonacci spiral, the golden spiral. That was my screen. That was my screensaver. That was like, right, like that's what I was doing a lot of learning on. Like there's every dimension, every level, there's a new truth. There's a deeper truth, right? So this is why I'm saying, if you're comfortable right now, you're stuck, you're stagnant, right? If you've mastered one little aspect of the matrix, like you are missing out on the big picture, mate. Like there's so many beings right now who are masters in their field, right? And that's awesome. But you can still always expand. And if you have mastered one little part of that matrix, you are missing out on everything else. Like this is where beings, right, who have incarnated to do a job, get to tune into this frequency, to move on this crystal spiral to the source of what they are, okay, to get home, okay, using all that they are, the breadcrumbs through this incarnation to get to where they need to get. And they do that by healing, right? And they do that by just jumping in, taking that leap of faith. Or you can just stay in your little pigeonhole that you've mastered that one little aspect of the matrix, nothing else. Yeah. But what we need is you to be open enough to take that leap of faith. If you are one of those beings in the matrix, that old system, and you have mastered a certain art or a few arts, right? We need you, because we need all that mastery to bring us through into this new, like we need that. Like they are, and you are so unique and amazing. And what all the work you have done into this incarnation and other incarnations are for this moment in time, where you get to choose to move into this new frequency, because there's no way that you will be able to access this any other way, right? So that's why. And people may say, oh, Nadine, you just want to make money charging $22 a month, for this Patreon. Like, if that's your money blockers showing up, right? That's those programs in the matrix showing up, right? I don't value myself, or I don't trust in the divine, or I don't know, light workers, star seeds, indigos, freaking all of you guys, right, have money blocks. And if you don't invest, like that's the thing, like we need to push past those programs. That's what I'm being told. Like I do everything the way that I'm guided, right? And this price is divinely guided. All the initiate, like when I initiated masters into this divine blueprint, all the prices were divinely guided. And the message was beings need to invest in themselves. They need to give if they are to receive, because we need to teach beings how to value themselves, because they are freaking divine, right? And if you like, and for me to give energy, like I can't just give my energy, because then I'll be screwed, because the Patreon requires me and my energy to generate, like for it to function, right? So I'm not just going to give my energy away to beings if they won't even invest in themselves. You know what I mean? Because this is the truth, right? And the matrix programs, those beliefs, they control you if you're not willing to invest in yourself, right? And that's the thing. Like I could have done healing sessions, right? I've taken them down again. I don't know if I'll be doing healing sessions because I give it all in the Patreon. Like, because the best healing is you doing it yourself, right? Using all the code that you've received in this incarnation to be able to heal on that, to evolve, to raise frequency, right? It's about giving you the knowledge so you can do this. I'm just being shown an apple. I'm just being shown an apple. This is the fruit of life, right? Right now, I'm planting a seed. So do you choose to water that seed, or do you choose to just let it sit there dormant? Because, yeah, again, we're going back into this choice, right? This is the choice. Like, do you wish to nurture that seed so it can grow and you can expand and evolve? Or do you wish to leave that seed, this knowledge, laying dormant in the matrix? Because for this seed to grow, you need the frequency, this crystal frequency. So yeah, again, like what you tell yourself and what you do in life shows where and how far you're going to go, right? If you say, I can't afford it, I don't have money, you know, all those things that we tell ourselves, that's too good to be true. It does sound too good to be true. It does. I'm fully aware of that. But this is the magic that's available. I just speak my truth. I'm just a vessel. And where I am, the information that I'm getting, like this is for me and my mission to awaken others, to show others the way, right? To guide, right? That's it. I'm just that ascended master, right? I'm not fully ascended yet. I'm still going. I'm getting close, but I hope. But part of this journey means I need to, I can't keep this to myself, right? I need to share this with the beings that are meant to have that, and that's why I've created, why I create these free webinars, why I'm speaking out on TikTok, on my socials, I have to share this knowledge, these wisdom codes, to connect with others so they can connect to their truth. And it's this connection that's really going to set us free, right? It's not the old world matrix program of scarcity and charging, a shit ton right now. Right now. This is about sharing that wisdom freely, right? So to activate you guys. I have no idea what's going to be in the future because I'm not told that. I just have to be in the now moment and just go where I'm guided and do what I'm told and work with the laws of one. Work with the law of one. So we've got laws of nature, laws of universe, laws of one, law of one. So I must follow. I'm just seeing footsteps to my Christ self. That's really cute. I'm just seeing footprints in the sand, and like my Christ self. This is it, like all of us just finding our way home to the truth of what we are. You can stay in this false reality, right? And keep creating this shitty world that we see. But to evolve, to integrate, to move into this new frequency earth, this crystal spiral, requires something new. It requires a conscious effort, working with our mind, balancing our freaking ego, purifying this vessel from all the demons contained within. like containing our light, containing ourselves, filling all those holes, releasing all those attachments, surrendering. Using this frequency, being in the now moment, and like skyrocketing, I'm getting skyrocketing. Like these beautiful beams of light moving home. Because when beings connect to me, this is what I'm told. So through my Patreon, I'm giving people, if you are investing in yourself, I'm investing in you. And that's why I've created the Patreon. So, and I'll teach you how to heal with this. Like, I'm being told that I have to push this Patreon because the more beings we can invite in, the more light we can anchor, right? And it's all like this pull. It's like this, it's like we have to actually, like, I'm being shown like, oh, like by us connecting to Patreon, by us releasing the low frequencies, the programs, right? The separation, we move closer to oneness and we pull, like, it's like, how do I explain it? Like we are doing our part for humanity, right? We are learning how to master ourselves, right? But we are assisting humanity the way that we were designed to, right? We are getting the divine wisdom from the God source, from your Christ self, from the crystal frequency. We're getting this knowledge now. We're getting the choice, right? And we, in doing this, by aligning to this Patreon, by energetically aligning with Nadine and the collective, right? With us operating as one, with us anchoring this divine frequency, we are lifting the veil. And those beings in this reality that this opportunity hasn't been illuminated to, we are assisting them, we're helping them. Like, and like you're, okay, hang on, hang on. Okay. So things that have been prophesized are happening, but it's in a different way, right? There's code in the matrix right now, okay? But you have to read between the lines, just like that Torah code, right? Read between the lines, and everything in this realm, this matrix, so the truth is there, but it's all over the place. It's scattered, right? Like stars in the sky. So this, what I share is all those illuminations in one place, right? The truth, right? Okay, so this rapture, I'm being told to talk about this rapture, but I don't really know about the rapture, but I'm being told the rapture. And I believe, I don't know, where beings get zapped up. Is that what it is? Where they just descend? Is that what the rapture is? Oh, I don't know. But this is the thing, it's just a code. That rapture is just a code. Everything in this material realm is code. And every person in this reality will decipher that code in a different way and understand it in a different way. Okay? But what we have here is the way to do that, right? And let me explain. We are going to shift to new earth. Consciously alone. So right now we have the old earth, we have the new earth, right? Two realities in one place. So what we need to do, this is a hard one, hang on. Because we're not going anywhere. We're not being zapped anywhere, right? This is consciously. Like I have been on this journey. I have done this consciously. I have done this consciously, right? I have ascended, right, into the 15D, and I'm receiving this knowledge to share with you. But you can do this too, right? Well, to the 12D at least is what I know. I'm not sure about the rest, but 12D, let's talk about 12D. I've ascended to the 12D and access this 15D information because that's a part of my mission, to be able to build this program, create it, and integrate those other masters, beings, starseeds, whatever you want to label yourself, those beings that chose to be here anyway, into this new system. So we're going back to the timelines. This is a conscious journey. This is consciousness. We have the physical realm now, which is amazing. We get to have fun and interact, but we need to activate our avatars to be able to have the most control and power, right? We need to know how to steer, right? We need to uncover our Merkaba, right? That's what this divine blueprint activation is for, to uncover your Merkaba, to do this, right? Again, it's not available yet, but right now we have the frequency available that you can start healing to prepare yourself for this divine blueprint activation. Okay, because you need to prepare yourself. Apparently that's coming through. You need to prepare yourself for this divine blueprint activation. So that's why that Patreon has been created, so you can heal and raise frequency to be able to contain that, right? That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so sorry, I'm getting distracted. I can hear things downstairs. So you don't need right now this divine blueprint activation to be able to shift timelines and raise frequency. Well, this is a big one to unpack because it's coming from all these different angles and it keeps spiraling back around. So we have two ways that I serve. I want to just say that first because, right, so we have the divine blueprint activation, right? But to access that, beings need to start healing. They need to learn how to prepare. They need to be able to release those low frequencies, that separation within their avatar, to be ready for that, right? To be ready to receive that, right? So that's why the Patreon's created. So isn't this cool, Dee? This is some new information coming together. So I want to help you shift timelines, and I want your help, right? I need your help. We need each other, right? We need to connect. We need to, do this. Like, we need to work from this frequency so we can shift timelines, right? So old earth, new earth, they're both in the same place, but consciously people are going to experience these differently. Okay, so what we need to do to shift timelines, right, to move with this crystal spiral into this crystal core of creation, we need to be able to use its frequency. We need to clear all the old shit that's contained within our avatar, and we have to do it for ourselves. Okay, so there's so many beings out there in the matrix system, pigeonholed, locked into certain healing modalities or techniques or whatnot. Everything that you are, everything that you have done is like amazing, right? So what we need to do now is give you access to this frequency so you can anchor this light from the crystal frequency. And whatever you are, whatever you're doing, you are going to be spreading that light. You are going to be so much more powerful, right? And you're going to benefit, your clients are going to benefit, like... but then it's for people that haven't even been introduced to anything like that. Like, this is the new way, and it doesn't matter who you are, right? It doesn't matter who you are. You can benefit from this because this is a whole new way this is a whole new way. This is not like anything in the matrix system at all. but you can use everything that you are. Like, can you see where I'm going now? Because in connection, in oneness, where all of our experience combined, stop it. I'm getting Captain Planet. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why I got that. I'm going to have to watch the intro to Captain Planet. I'm just getting with all of our forces combined. With all of our forces combined. I don't know if that's off Captain Planet, but I'm getting the Captain Planet thing in my head. And I'm seeing Captain Planet. It was a cartoon show that used to be around in the 90s. So I'm not sure if anyone knows what I'm talking about. But so what we need to do is, because we've been working all of our lives for this. We incarnated for this. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a healer, whether you're a light worker, whether you've been doing it for the last 50 years, or whether you are just seeing this now and resonating and you've had no energy healing experience at all. Like, it doesn't matter. The fact that you are here shows that you are being presented with this opportunity. It's up to you whether you join this Patreon membership and begin healing and moving with this crystal frequency, or whether you choose not to, whether you choose to activate this seed or just leave it dormant in the matrix. It is up to you. But everything is going to be explained. You guys, by joining this Patreon, you are aligning your energy to myself. And we are going to learn through source what we need to know for that moment in time. And we are going to grow and expand and discover. Like, this is the funnest thing ever. And that's it. Myself and the founders have been working for 3 years, and it's been freaking hard because we've had to really, I'm just being shown this swamp. They're referring to Never Ending Story. You know that swamp with Atreyu and that horse? You know that where you freaking just cry your eyes out every single time that you watch that swamp of, what is it, sadness or something? Like, we have had to push our way through to get to this core of creation. Like, it hasn't been just me alone. Like, yeah, I get this information, I share it, then we collectively ascend. I get this information, like the source code, heal on it, share it, we evolve. Like, this is what we need to do. This is a gradual thing, right? This isn't people going to get zapped up to freaking heaven. That is delusional. That is a matrix delusion, right? That is a deception. That is a lie. This is, you're not going anywhere. You're in this body, fixed in this reality, but you are consciously expanding. Like, you are growing multidimensionally. Like, you're not going to fly off, right? There's so many different stories out there in the matrix about this time. But the truth is, we need to fix this planet. We need to fix it up. We're the architects here to fix this planet, here to rebuild, right? So, and this is about beings from all different angles working together to shift this reality. If you're watching this, I am so positive that you're one of those beings one of those. But it's funny how they overlap words and change words around, because there's messages, and there's ways and angles, different angles of looking at things, and that's how we together have to shift and change this reality, right? This is how this is what. Stop it. They're like, all right, so let me have some water. They're moving all those words around because the way that I see things, it's like this holographic computer, right? It's very interesting. Like, the information that they give me, it's like it's very hard to understand. But we are in this hologram, right? And if you can picture like a really futuristic looking hologram computer where it's just like a room where information is displayed, that's how I see things. So sometimes I look up here, sometimes I look up there. Like, I'm not channeling a being. That can be very harmful for the DNA. And that's again something very limiting, because there's a lot of beings out there who are channeling, but they're going outside themselves, right? So this is where we need to understand that the only way to ascend, the only way to integrate to New Earth, to move with this crystal spiral, is to go within, right? To you and your essence, your Christ self, not going out there channeling other beings, right? Because you are you are a direct descendant of source. Like, that's what they're saying. You are a direct descendant of source. Why would you go off any other way? Yeah, like that's, if you do that, no judgment, because everything you have done is to help us, like, with this new mission. Like, this is your mission. Like everything that you are, that you have done, there is no judgment, because it just is. And that's, you've done it for a reason, and you've done it in preparation for what we're moving into now. Okay, so please don't think that I'm judging or casting any judgment on anything, because everything that you have done is experience. This galactic federation, we don't need to go to them for help. We need to just go to our source, right? We hold the power. That is a matrix program, because we're going outside ourselves. So what I really want you guys to understand is we need to go inside ourselves. That's where the power is. Stop giving your power away. Stop tuning into just noise, static, deception. You need to go this way if you are to ascend, or if you are to assist. So if you are a being and you know that you've come here to assist, right? But you're unwilling to invest in yourself to receive this frequency, then you're not really assisting. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's the message coming through. And that's all I can do, is share the truth, okay? And the truth isn't always easy, because there's so many matrix programs, and people get triggered, and then they just shut the door, they close their minds, they go into their box, they just stick with what they know, okay? We need to push past those boundaries. We need to take that leap of faith. And if you're one of those beings who calls yourself a new earth leader, a healer, a light worker, a shadow worker, well, let's put all of our heads together and work as one to make a difference. Because separation on our own, it's not going to do much at all. And as we expand collectively, we get access to more light, and we get more power, because we need to take that light back, stop feeding it to the old system, and freaking work towards something new. Like, that's what we have to do. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, there's so much new crazy stuff coming through. And that's okay. So, and that's what brings me to this. Okay. And that's it. Dee was wondering how it was all going to work. And so have I. I've been questioning, and I haven't been told until this live that's how it's going to work. Like, to prepare for this divine blueprint activation, beings need to be in that sacred space, working together as one, contributing, assisting, partaking. Okay. And by using that frequency, by aligning with the crystal spiral, the core of creation, beings are going to have the opportunity, when it's available down the track, to have the divine blueprint activation. But that's it. There's a way this is working, and I'm not the controller of that. This is coming from the crystal realm. It's that divine plan. So what you are seeing is this divine rollout, like the information that's coming through. So we need to release all those perceptions about what we think this world and what we think this time is going to be about, and just trust. Because all I'm speaking about is, like, empowering you, right? And giving you access to more power that you could ever imagine, because you are a powerful being. It's like Christ our crystal avatar, our handing us it's like a baton. Like I'm just seeing like our Christ selves, like our fully evolved selves, handing us the baton. It's like, okay, here you go. And again, that very symbolic, because we are a sunbeam, we are this light source beam. We are this source beam, this beam of light on the ground incarnate. Now we need to use our avatars the way that God designed us. Polarity, positive, negative, electromagnetic, to anchor. And you will be able to do that by joining the Patreon, because when you join the Patreon, you work as one with us. You're one with us. So you are able to clear and release like we can, like I can, like Dee can. Okay? Like the other founders can. Release everything that I can release. That's so cool. For $22 a month. That's a freaking bargain. Jesus Christ. That's it. Like, we spend so much money on ourselves, and that's the thing. Like, I feel so incredibly blessed to be able to offer this for this price. Like, it is, for what you are receiving, it just, I cannot explain the infinite amount of low frequencies. Okay. I was wondering why we were going that. Okay, so we have is it finite and infinite? We have the separated, the blocked, and we have this flow, this infinite. So do you wish to align and move with this infinite power, or just stay stuck in a little box, not knowing your potential, not accessing your capabilities, not using this divine... I'm just getting orchestrated. I'm getting orchestra. It's like orchestra. It's orchestra. Harmony, frequency, flow. I'm showing musical notes. That's what I have to offer. And you have so much truth buried within you. And everything that you've done in this life is a clue, and you can learn how to tap into what those clues were and use them to evolve. Positive and negative things. Minor and freaking, what's the opposite to minor? I don't know. We're going into these musical type minor. Isn't that is that got something to do with music? Minor? It has, I'm sure it has. But I'm just being shown musical notes. I'm being shown the rainbow and flow, right? Okay, so flow, rainbow. This is to move, okay. All these rays, right? The rays, the colors. Like, you are all of that, but you are blocked and you don't get to experience that in the material, in the matrix. No, that wasn't a mistake, because I'm seeing the word material. Okay, material realm. In that material realm. They want me to say that, the material realm. Okay? Because we are in this reality, and we like the good things in life, or we like to use our senses, right? We are these sentient beings, right? I enjoy food and like, I like my food, and at the moment, because I've been in these really like insane intense lessons, I tend to just Like I've been so busy that I've just been doing convenience type stuff, right? So right now, physically, I'm not where I want to be, but I know that things are going to get easier for me the more I stand in my truth and the more beings I can bring into this frequency, and we can heal collectively, because we are literally carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. Every single person in this realm are holding the weight of the world on their shoulders, but we need to be able to free ourselves from that and work as one, work differently, right? To be able to support, energetically support one another. That's what this is all about. So again, like this Patreon membership, like I just had to use Patreon because it was the easiest way that I could serve as many people as possible, right? And if you are one of those healers, light workers, if you're one of those people who go, I'm not going to spend that, well, why aren't you going to spend that much on yourself? Why aren't you going to invest in your mind, in yourself, in your consciousness? You know, like what's blocking you? Be very mindful. If you say that, there's something blocking you. Oh, everything should be free. People shouldn't have to pay to, do. Why? I have to earn a living. Like you pay someone to paint a house, you pay someone to do your lawns, you pay someone to come and clean your house. Why would you not pay someone who has opened this energetic space, who is allowing you to connect with them, to use everything that they've worked for to access this frequency, to you know what I mean? So it's like, and there's so many light workers, healers that are in that trap, and because they have these big hearts, they'll just like they'll just give for free. But when you're doing that, you're just saying, here, take my light, take my energy, take my life force, take. Oh, I'm not going to have nothing in return. So like you will suffer in certain ways, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, whatever. There's something, so this is about stepping into abundance, right? Learning how to alchemize, learning how to manifest, how to use this frequency. We are explorers here. We have this Patreon. I'm opening the doors, and I want all those beings in here to explore that frequency and share from their angle and contribute. Like, yeah, so this is like all a discovery. This is a path of discovery, right? Because we have this crystal frequency here that's being like offered to you, right? And you, with all of your experience, even if you don't have any experience, you get to explore, right? Like I had someone the other day, like asking what hertz it is and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, I don't freaking know. Like, I don't know. Like, what the hell? I don't know. Like, that's for you. If you're into that sort of thing, come and join us, right? And explore that, because I don't know. Like, that's just an example. So I don't know. It's just like, because this is a collective, going back to the this is a collective effort, right? The all of us together working as one. And all of our experiences, our different powers, our different ways of thinking. I'm just being shown like this mirror, and how the light plays off that mirror in all different directions. Yeah. But you get to explore this frequency. Like I've ascended to this point where I've anchored into that crystal core, and now beings get to connect with me, to connect with that, and we get to expand together. And you get to see and use, I can't get it out. It's like you have certain experience and you have certain things. I'm talking to the healers, I'm talking to the light workers, I'm talking to the shadow workers, the star seeds, the indigos that have begun this healing path, right? You have certain modalities, certain techniques, certain things like meditation, right? That is a massive one. Like, you can use this frequency in your meditation, and maybe I should release meditation, like a space, like a special meditation where you can access this and use this. I don't know. but that's the thing, like, when you're plugged into that Patreon right now, oh wow, so I'm just seeing all these things unfold. Like, there's so many different ways that we can use it, but using that healing portion of the Patreon, right, to be able to, I don't know, there's so many possibilities, I can't even go into it. But meditation, right, that is a massive matrix trap, because beings, like, people are going to hate that, right? They're going to say, get really cranky at that. But meditation is a matrix trap, and it's a waste of time, especially if you're not doing it through the guidance of your Christ avatar. If you're not doing it through the guidance of Source. There's so many people, and throughout the last 3 years, especially at the beginning of my journey, where I was learning and through Joe Dispenza, which I needed, right, to be able to access this, right? So you need to be guided to do meditation, right? Because I would see so many people, oh, it's not working. It's not working. It's like, oh, like, why is this person having such a profound experience when I'm not? I can't do that. I can't. You can, especially if you're one of those people that suffer in meditation, you can use that crystal frequency to enhance your meditations, right? And access that truth to be able to navigate through the deception. Because when people sit down and meditate, right, they are going within. So that's key, obviously, right? So I'm not discounting it completely. But what I'm shown is, like, a person like this, I'm just showing, like, so I'm just, this is how I'm seeing it, right? I'm seeing, like, this person going within, right? Meditating. I'm actually seeing, like, the Buddha with a lotus and all the chakras, right? That's how I'm seeing it. So I'm seeing a person going within, meditating. But then the source code that I have, like, had to learn, what, like, I've had to, let's call it the matrix separation programs, they're still contained within. Like, you need to be able to wipe those programs. So if you're sitting there meditating, you're only getting to a certain point, and this point is extremely limiting. Like, you may have crazy experiences, right? But yeah, you are doing, like, it's very hard to explain. It's like everything you do and everything that you're guided to do, you're meant to do. Let's just put it that way. So if you're guided to meditate, do it, right? But I just need to educate beings that you are not able to access your truth alone with all the deception programs contained within you and connected to you through the collective and your ancestors, right? You need to heal. You need to raise frequency. You are wasting your time if you're sitting there just meditating constantly, because you're always going to be stuck. You may raise consciousness, but then bang, you're back. You end your meditation, you carry out your day, these frequency, like, you go back to where you are at, right? So it's this very, maybe you're going on a thing like that, right? But it's very, the crap you have to push past, and I'm only speaking from experience with the source code that I've received. Like, all right, they're telling me to get the source code up. So these are some of the things that, are going to be stuck within and through your field, the physical body, every layer of what you are, mind, body, spirit, right? We have the very basic things, right? And these are the things, I'm going to talk about a few things that I had to release straight away to even connect and move into my mission and uncover my mission here. These hang on, I'm going to just go through and see what they want me to talk about. Okay, here. So saboteurs and weapons are coming up first, right? Then, of course, we have these entities, curses, right? We have cords to humans, other humans, entities, right? We have toxins, right? Toxins that cause energetic blocks within our body, right? We have all these emotions that get triggered within us daily, which instantly just bring us down, right? So we need to be able to give you access to the frequency where you can release everything at once that needs to go. Everything that's surfaced, you need to be able to wipe that, okay? Because what happens, these things resurface. So that's why it's a monthly membership. So every month you get to connect and release those things, right? We have members of the Patreon that have gone there a couple of different times throughout the month and received healing. So it's like not a monthly thing. You can access that whenever you want, right? But obviously when you're guided, because we don't want to, like meditation, we don't want to waste time. Right? We want to contain, we want to light up, you know what I mean? And we need to do it through the guidance of our Christ self. So everything that you do and what Christ encourages is that you go within and go where you're go when you're guided, do what you're guided to do. Don't do things just because other people have told you to do it or other gurus or whatnot, right? Because there's so many people that do meditation, but they're still stuck suffering. They're still getting angry. They're still just, it's like, I'm just seeing like they're still stuck at the frequency that they are because they haven't released anything, right? They may have released some things, but things straight back take its place because we are in this time of purging. You need to purge. And that's the thing, the old-fashioned way that I used to heal, or the way that I was taught through a certain modality, I was told to release one emotion at a time. I was up releasing emotions all freaking night, and I was in a downward spiral. But I had to experience that so I could uncover this program. It was all a lesson for me on my journey, right? You guys are going to have all different lessons on your journey. And the fact that you are seeing this, the fact that you are watching this and you have this choice, you have this opportunity, I want you to be open and see the synchronicities that are going to unfold. Be open. You know, are you going to be seeing more of the divine numbers and whatnot? That will be an arrow pointing you here to our collective, pointing you to one, pointing you in the direction, because your Christ self is the one who has been guiding you since that moment you incarnated here, right? And everything that's happened to you on this path, on this incarnation, on this timeline, is pointing you to the one, right? So I'm going to put the link to that membership in the comments and probably in the description after this, so you can join us and start healing right away. So when beings join that Patreon, I advise you to watch the latest stream first so you can receive the most powerful healing. Because on this path, as I have ascended, I've accessed higher frequency all along, constantly growing, expanding, and evolving and accessing more power, more capability, right? So the most recent Patreon is the one to watch because that is the most powerful, okay? So just a heads up. And then we have our Patreon at the beginning of next month, and you'll be able to see that and register for that once you get into Patreon and join us for the wisdom that comes through, right? Okay, so I'm being told, okay, so on this journey, this is an embodiment of the divine, right? So just to sum up, to kind of talk a bit more of this divine blueprint, because we have gone off, um, well, it's all meant to be, isn't it? Because it all spirals back around to what I share and what I do, and our mission here, right? So it's been an embodiment process, right? So I've had to move my way through this 12 tree grid and learn about all the darkness, right? And all the limitations, right? I've had to deal with archons and demons, and I've had to align myself, my core, with the freaking Earth's core, the sun core, the grand central sun, the crystal core. I've had to become whole, all right, to receive, right? And learn, so moving forward I can teach others, but while doing it all from this now moment. So when I share information, I only share it because I'm directed to. I always point up there, but it is from within here, really, because that's what it really feels like. It feels like sun, the source is that sun, and we are the beams, and that's where we're heading. So that's why I do sort of look, but it is from within, right? All that code within the matrix, those false JC programs and everything like that. What does he talk about? Sacred heart. It's all about the heart, but really beyond the heart, the core, right? That core, that monad, that dot, right? That's what it's like. I haven't got an image of the monad right now, but it's just a circle with a dot, right? It's all about the core and the container, and containing our light, and us accessing our absolute self to get into that crystal realm. Okay. But this is an embodiment journey. So on this, every step has a particular theme, right? And when I got up to that last October, I was working and receiving the 10, level 10, right? And it was Sophia. So I had to embody Sophia, right? So I received a lot of lessons in relation to her. So level 10, October, I embodied 2021, I embodied Sophia, right? So I became her, and I learnt all about, like, I learned what I had to do basically to be able to move through the Stargate and connect to all the Stargates. And yeah, and so Stargate, so that Stargates was November, the 11, moved through. There was also reference to Phi and Pi. So Sophia, the PHI, and then the level 11 was the PI, and it was like those gates. So for those that know mathematics, or that are really, into mathematics and all that sort of stuff, like, I don't know, that's up to you to decode, because we are all here to decode different things from different angles to work as one. Nadine doesn't know everything. It's up to me to give people access to this crystal frequency, and then they can prepare themselves for the divine blueprint activation, and then they can explore, for all of us, from all different angles, decoding this and understanding this, and breaking this reality, like breaking this old, I'm just getting reality and understanding how we are as creators, and how we I don't know, I'm just getting the word reality. It's just showing reality. Some of it transform, like, we are here to rebuild. We are here to understand how the darkness works, to be able to step into our light. Like, we need to know how we've been deceived to evolve, like, to see past the bullshit, basically. And that's what I've had to do on this journey, and I had to, like my head against a brick wall to understand and to receive the next bit of source code so I could input that and heal on that to ascend further. So I worked with a lot of archons, a lot of demons, like having to release them from not only my field but from the collective. Like I have been doing so much work healing you guys, like, and you don't even know it, like, but I've had to do that because we are all one. Like that's how I've had to tune into the all one frequency, by actually operating and using the simulation to be able to, yeah, get up there. So level 12, I began the embodiment process of Christos, right? And then the next step after that was this divine sacred union, where I balanced my masculine and my feminine, right? And there was a lot of work that I had to do with my Merkaba as well in that. And, you know, so it was like this Sophia and Christos in this divine perfect union, right? So, yeah, so that's where I've sort of been, like this embodiment. We need to receive all the codes to be able to be a frequency match. So this is an embodiment process and becoming more and more whole, more and more one. Because, you know, so many things out there in the matrix that says we are all one, but this is you getting to experience that and walk through that and understand that and know that for yourself, right? I don't speak about anything unless I know it, right? Like I said, in my awakening, I was told all this crazy shit. At the beginning, when I was initiated to this divine blueprint, I was activated, I was attuned. I was told all this crazy stuff. Most of it's happened now, you know, but I didn't speak it because I didn't know it. I wasn't in that frequency. So I didn't really trust it, right? You know what I mean? Because we need to do the inner work to move into this truth, move into this trust. And because it's all about trusting ourselves. Okay, so this journey, this is a self-mastery journey. That's what the Ascended Master's journey is all about. There's so many people right now struggling, suffering. They're just sitting in these frequencies where they just don't know what the hell they're meant to be doing. They're stuck in this anger, this frustration. They're looking at the reality and they're like, there's nothing I can do. I'm standing up. I'm going to these rallies. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm, you know, and nothing's changing. It's getting worse. Because as New Earth, as we ascend, it's like the reality of the matrix is declining. So your experience in that reality that you're connecting to is declining. Fuck, that's massive. That's something new to me. So it's like this, wow. So you're not getting buzzed anywhere, right? You're not flying off anywhere. You are grounded here on this planet, right? And it depends what frequency you are. So right now is that why, and we've got Yeshua coming through now saying yes. The why, the fork in the road, like that's what they show, like Yeshua, why, and then yes. And that message, yes you are, yes you are, yes you are, yes you are a divine being, right? Yeshua, yes you are. You know, that is overlays, right, of language and words and frequency, right? We are frequency. That's what you are. Now you are here to learn that, to know that, to embody the divine, to exit the inorganic matrix and move into the crystal core, the spiral of creation, right? Mathematically, slightly different, right? There's two different, like this is all about maths as well, and numbers and frequency, because at the root of it, it's frequency, energy, vibration, sound, light. This is the path to get to that, to embody truth, to trust. Because right now in the matrix system, the old world, people don't trust. They're like, whatever, Nadine. You know, like, there's so many scammers out there. You're probably just another one of those scammers. You know what I mean? Like, we don't trust. That's why people don't take that leap of faith, because they don't trust. They don't truly trust that they're going to be caught. But this process, we have to release what is not us to move into what we truly are, right? And it's scary because we have to move through those dark frequencies to be able to free ourselves from them. And yeah, it's one of those things that we need to trust, because you are truth, you are source, you are creation. It's all these limiting blocks and the separation, the fragments. Like, you're only a fragment of what you really are. You need to release the separation, the lines of separation I'm getting, to become whole. It's like this grid, like this grid. The fragments, like I'm just getting fragments, like a grid, like fragmented, like because it's all about, so I'm just being shown this fragment, like, and I'm being told the Metatron's cube and the square, right? The fragment, like to keep you stuck, right? Like the square. Now, and because what they're saying is it's all about the tri. It's all about this three, like the three, right? Time, space, consciousness, right? Subconscious, unconscious, conscious, right? Mind, body, spirit. Open, purging, and blessing, right? Anchoring that light. It's all about the three. It's all about a connection. That perfect balance. It's just a different way of construction, like that realm and this realm. Hell and heaven. So yeah, there's some crazy so treble, chef, major, and minor. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm thinking, yeah, another bloody music quote. You know, and this is throughout my on this journey of ascension, I've had to learn in different frequencies. And one of those amazing teachers was Pythagoras, right? You know, and his teachings, and how I didn't really just, I mean, spiritually he taught me, not I didn't go and read his books and stuff like that. But input came into my awareness, into my field. Let's see, I want to say he, but then I'm being told not to say he, because we are all one. It came from the all one. And that was an angle of his little mirror. I'm getting reflection, it's very interesting. I'm being shown a whole heap of new things now. It's really weird. But the way that I see these mirrors, they're triangle, right? They're these triangle mirrors. And I know there's a lot to do with mathematics and stuff like that, but that's not, like, I just had to receive what I had to receive for me to get to where I have to get. You will have a whole heap of other things that you have to receive to, you know, to get where you need to get. So this is why you can't just follow Nadine's path or follow someone else's path. You need to get the understanding, the knowledge to understand how to go within and like your personal path to ascension. Your personal path isn't in new age stuff. It's not in, religion. It's not in this. It's not in that, because that's someone else's story. That's someone else's. Yeah, I want to say rubbish, but because the matrix is built on deception. Because the matrix needs to keep you hidden from yourself. So it's all smoke and mirrors, right? Even schools, right? Schools program people, indoctrinate people to be a little perfect programmed soldier, right? Most of us creative people, we didn't really do great at school, right? Certain concepts just didn't, like personally, I was in the lowest maths class there was, right? I wasn't able to, like, I wasn't smart in their way of, in that way, right? In school. I didn't like school. So we have, two different types of people incarnate right now. And we have the program people, and we have the people that are looking for something different because they know that this physical realm is not all that is, right? But we have a lot of people that are like that, but they won't trust and take the leap. And that's like yesterday I was saying, like, why won't people invest in themselves? Like, I've created this healing portal for them, like this ascension portal for them, so they can be able to release everything I can release and access higher consciousness, raise their frequency. Like, why don't people after all the TikToks I did, why don't people receive that? Like, why, like, and then I got, well, are you investing in yourself, Nadine? And I'm like, and then I was given that lesson, like, you eat shit, you do this, you won't go and exercise, and this, that, and the other, right? It's like, you don't invest in yourself right now. So I added some code and did some changes, and but I realize now that it was for today's live. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. People just don't trust in themselves. So if you don't trust in yourself, how can you trust in others? Like, they're the blocks coming up. They're the walls that keep you contained. Like, these matrix programs, like, they contain us. And it's those beings who are seeking right now, right? Those people who have been doing everything that they can to stand in their light. Those people that have been suffering those abundance blocks, right? Because our birthright is abundance, right? Because we are infinite. But because we are logged into an old system, we're stuck. While other people get richer, those people sitting on the top of the pyramid, while everyone else suffers. So right now I'm being shown the pyramid and the square on the bottom of the pyramid, but then the triangles that make that. So the four-sided pyramid I'm being shown. It doesn't matter what's happening out there. All that matters is what's happening in here. And that is how we are going to dismantle and dissolve the old world matrix program. Connecting as one, going within, learning how to use our avatar, the positive and the negative, what we are, to be able to ascend. So that's what that membership is all about. And that's why I push it, right? Because I'm being told to push it, number one, because we need beings to get access to this frequency to work from the essence of what they are and their particular experience here, their uniqueness. Doesn't matter where they're from, what they've studied. This is all one. Culture, religion, spirituality, all those sort of things keep people separated and segregated. Right? This is for same as different healing modalities, different ways. Oh, I do this and you do that. Oh, well, we can't be friends, you know. I like this and you like that. Oh. Like, it's just like everything in this physical realm. Like, why do you think for the last, since this whole thingy, like, you know, we have people, you know, in politics, American politics, and, you know, all that. It's just all smoke and mirrors to keep you divided and keep you separated. Like, why can't people see that? But they still fight for their team. They still fight for what they personally think is right. Right? In separation. They're dividing themselves more, fracturing themselves more. Right? This is just the truth of creation. And now you get to learn how to break free and create what you want, not for someone else. Right? Create what we want. I want those beings who have big ideas like me, who have, I'm just getting hope, but not the hope from desperation, just a whole new hope, right? There was a Star Wars movie called No New Hope, wasn't there? Because Star Wars just came through. That's so funny. But it's so divine, because that's what we are here. People are going, oh, it's a spiritual war, light and dark, focus on the light, rah, rah, rah. But no, it's about going in here and balancing your freaking light and dark and becoming one, right? Not fighting out there, spiritual war, picking holes out of other people's stories, because that's their stories, that's their shit, that's their lesson, their path, right? And my name, Nadine, actually means hope. So it's very funny. And Nadine, I was born on the 22nd, and, you know, so there's so many different like there were so many clues for me, and things about me and my incarnation and who I am and who I was and everything that just unfolded and, you know, kept me on path, like those synchronicities. So we get to understand how to use those synchronicities to keep us on our path. Like, there's so much that I'm going to be able to teach you in this Patreon. And I don't even know what the date is of it. I think it's the 5th. So we have it's called a source stream, because this is a stream. I'm not channeling anything. It's just a stream of information that I get access to because I am that frequency. So trying to find who I am and my truth, it's been very difficult this whole time. But I'm just a stream of information, and a stream for you to connect to. And I'm being shown the Holy Grail with the waters of eternal life flowing forth. And because I've sort of got, it's been a journey, guys. It's like a freaking video game. You have no idea. But by aligning with me and connecting with me, and the wisdom, the knowledge, my truth that I'll be sharing in the future, like it's crazy. But this is a journey of mind becoming whole, right? And this reality, like this synchronicity, like these are signs and symbols, they're code, they're clues, right? We can experience so much magic in this realm of consciousness. It is magic. We get to be in these physical bodies, but we get to explore with our minds. It is freaking off the chart, man. So anyway, what level did I receive the Holy Grail? I think it was a few, because one of the things that I'm a blue flame, a scene. I'm a blue flame. Sorry, I'm not even going to put that Ascend label on it, but I'm a blue flame, right? I'm this mother arc frequency. That's like, that's one of the truths about myself that I've uncovered, right? But the reality is I'm just all one. We are all one. Like, anyway, so this holy grail. So I had to incarnate to uncover this, to remember, to tap into who I am as a blue flame, to be able to receive this holy grail, to be able to access this frequency. It's like just as it's just amazing. Step by step on this path, it just expands and becomes more and more and more magical, right? More unbelievably magical. But now we have that. They're just showing me that. So that's what I'm sharing. It's like the holy grail with this eternal life type, this force. So when beings connect to me, when they invest in me and what I have to offer, that's what they get. That's just the way that I have. That's the only way I can explain it. That's it. But when I talk about this and what I am, like, that's not, yeah, why are they so, okay, so here, let me have some water. That's it. When I connect to, all right, so okay, so they're just giving me a lesson now in relation to how this works. So when I connect to that and say I am Mother Ark, right, and that's why I incarnated, so I can make this available to beings, right? I've had to access this gold flame, the blue flame, the freaking emerald, everything. Like, I've had to access these and become all these different things. But in essence, that's what we all are, So I've had to, so by me attaching to one thing, that labels it, and labels are bad. So we don't want to label, right? It just, but I need to be able to share truth when I'm told to share truth. So I'm not in my ego, right, saying, oh, I am Mother Ark, right? Because this information comes through from this crystal realm to just illuminate certain things, right? You have your own individual path here, and yeah, but you need to heal to discover it. You need to connect with the crystal spiral to discover it. And there's so many beautiful beings out there, future students of the crystal frequency, that haven't found this yet, or this hasn't been illuminated to yet, but they will find this when they're meant to. Because the thing is, if you're watching this, and what I said before, I believe that this is for you. So using all the input that's come through in this live, you may have to watch it again, right? May not. Certain things would have illuminated to you, whether they were positive or negative. There's a reason for that, right? This illumination is coming through from your Christ self, and I can teach you how to connect to that, right? So I don't even know what I'm talking about. If you're watching this, I believe you're meant for this, all right? So it's up to you to take the leap. That's it. Push past all those beliefs, right? So imagine if Jesus just appeared to you right now and he's like, okay, you know what I mean? It's like there's so many people out there right now. This is coming from the crystal, where all our Christ avatars dwell, the all, right? So I'm speaking, like, I've done exactly maybe different paths, but I've done the same thing Jesus did. So he's taken me on the path that he moved on, and I walked his path to be able to understand how it's done, so I can teach beings how to do the same thing, right? So beings really need to push past all those false matrix programs, those false Jesus programs, those false New Age programs, those false spirituality programs, all that false BS, and just trust, right? And I know it's going to be very incredibly hard, because it's very hard to trust. Our trust has been like I'm just getting this lock and key. I'm seeing this jail cell. Like, we are locked. We are blocked from that trust. It's like we've just seen so much bullshit out there. It's like, no, fuck it. I'm done. No, I'm not. No, probably another one of those scammers, But that's the thing. Like, you need to push, okay? And you right now, if you don't just jump off and join that Patreon, you're gonna, how do I put this? It's like, if you see this and you get this message from the divine, from this crystal frequency, from Christ, if you see this and you don't immediately jump on Patreon, right, and join, I want you to be aware to what's happening out there, like the synchronicities. I want you to at least use the correct term and ask to connect with your Christ avatar, right? Because we have been tricked. This is a long one. We have been tricked. So even Jesus Christ, all the false programs surrounding him, even down to his name, or that Christ, Christ, that is incorrect. So when people are connecting to Jesus Christ, or Christ spelt with a CH, they are actually connecting to a lower frequency, right? When they're connecting to Jesus, like, yeah. So it's like, you need to connect to the correct terminology, right? There's going to be a lot of matrix programs. Well, there's a lot that keeps you contained, but at least if you can take one thing from this, right? And that is, use the correct name. Because when you're intentionally connecting and using that correct terminology, you're able to connect to a higher frequency, right? You won't be able to connect to the crystal core. You're going to be extremely limited if you do not move into that Patreon. But at least if you're using that correct terminology, just at least do that for me, okay? Really, because you want your Christ avatar to support you, right? Your Christ, Kryst, right? You want to call it as it is, because that is more powerful. And that's the only one you want to talk to. Like, screw Archangel Michael and everything, they're matrix programs, all right? So many light workers are using Archangel Michael. I was very confused when Archangel Michael wasn't one of the Crystal Collective. I was like, because there was 11 Ascended Masters, 11 Archangels, and Archangel Michael wasn't one of them. But then I found out very recently that Archangel Michael is a matrix trap. And you've got to be, well, you're affirming separation when you ask for his assistance. You are keeping yourself segregated in separation, because he's not going to save you. You need to save your freaking self, okay? All right? Ask your Christ avatar, ask your Christ avatar for help. Don't freaking ask Archangel Michael. He can't do shit, right? This is the new era where beings go within. So if you enjoyed learning about this, or if this helped you make certain connections, I am so blessed. I'm so happy. Because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to speak the truth, even if the truth sounds very, that whole Archangel Michael thing, like, I haven't said that to a wider audience, because I know there's so many people that use Archangel Michael. But that's what they're saying. You are affirming separation when you ask him for help, right? You will never, ever be one with this new earth if you are asking him for help. If you're going outside yourself for help, full stop. Ask your Christ avatar, right? Kryst. That's the correct spelling. That's the most powerful thing you can ask, because that is you. And that is where we all dwell. And if you want to connect with you and learn more about that, that's why you want to join my Patreon. Wow, this has been awesome. This is what I love about when I speak my truth and when I stand in my light and when I go all out there, even when I'm not feeling great, and I do what I was told to do, because the time and the date and everything of this webinar was specifically chosen through my Christ avatar. And I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh, I don't know, I'm a bit confused. I don't know. I feel like so heavy and all that sort of stuff. Like, why did you choose this day? Why couldn't we do a different day? And then all of a sudden, like, it's a divine, like a time stamp. This is the divine plan. This is part of the divine rollout. Every time I do what I do, it's all guided by my Christ avatar. And the plan, the divine plan. So Nadine consciously, doesn't know every step. I can't see every step of the plan, right? I have to heal to receive that next lesson. And just like you guys, and that's what I'm here to teach you how to do, right? How to tune into that, how to tune into your path, right? How to uncover your purpose, your mission, access your force, your power, right? Use this vessel, this avatar, the way that God designed it. Every part of it, to anchor light and ascend, right? To access higher consciousness by raising our frequency in a new way, right? There's just so many possibilities out there. And I get excited when I think about how this frequency is going to be used when people energetically align and connect to it and receive it. Because I'm one person from one angle, right? I'm one person from one angle, and you're one person from another angle. And what I mean about angles, and again, I'm being shown that sine wave and the triangle and the monad, right? So the angle, that's really cool. It's about all of us together, right? And then the angle of the sine wave, I'm just being shown mathematical, whatever you call it. I'm being told proportions, but I don't even know if that's the correct terminology, but that's what I'm told. Mathematical proportion. What did I just say? Now I've forgotten it. Let me have some water. Proportions. Because there's so many people right now who have been studying sacred geometry and studying all those things, but they're actually studying the physical and the old world mathematics. So this crystal spiral is a spiral, but it's slightly mathematically off, right? So that's why you need access to this frequency to be able to. So it's going to be so the Fibonacci, I was told, like it's slightly different. And I'm like, wow, I was just like I had that on my freaking Facebook thing like not too long ago, like, because I had to learn all about that, the ins and outs, everything, to be able to master that, to move on, or to embody that, to move on and up, to become more, to access more of this knowledge. So it's very interesting, like so many scholars and all that sort of stuff studying all these physical realm symbols or geometries, whereas this is slightly different. So I'm very curious, like, yeah, all these people from different angles coming in, using this frequency and the lessons that I have to share, and them coming to their own epiphanies. Like, it's going to build and just, it's just so beautiful. It's like, frequency. Like, we need all those powerful beings in this frequency so we can explore it, so we can grow, so we can expand it, because I'm only one person. You have so much power to bring to this, like, but we have to do it together. So I've created that space. So cool. Oh, because I have so much cool stuff to teach. I really do. But I never know what's going to come out. That's the thing. I never know what's going to come out. I just sit here and it's like, bleh. Totally guided by my Christ self, my Christ avatar. And as I raise frequency, as I become more energetically resilient, and I purge and release more, right? This message becomes more clear and it becomes more easier, more pure. Now I'm being shown raw, but this is it, Nadine. This is Nadine in her raw form. You know, and Nadine has to purge a lot to be able to get where I have to get. So it's not putting a full face of makeup and doing my hair nice and wearing a nice flowy spiritual looking outfit. You know, it's just a costume. It's not me. This is me. I'm just normal. I'm just raw. And this isn't like, yeah, there's so many poses out there, and they play a part in what they think spiritually enlightened beings should look like. And they wear their makeup, they wear their costumes, and they spout all the stuff they've read in books, but they haven't actually walked the path. So this is the chance for them to walk the path and actually see what growing multidimensionally means and feels like. And it's not always pretty. But that's it. You're going to suffer either way, right? So it's like, hey, I want to evolve and and learn what my suffering and my symptoms is telling me to ascend, move on, move up. I don't care what other people think. I'll just speak my truth, right? And not in an asshole way. I'm just speaking from the frequency I'm at to benefit others, to allow them to grow and to take on these wisdom codes into their system so they bloom and awaken when they're meant to, right? So if you've gained any value from this, I'd really be super grateful if you shared this with other beings. You know, share that link to my webinar. I'm going to somehow make this available, you know, so they can access this. I'll make a few tweaks and changes, but share this video with others. And don't be scared to do it, because I know everything I speak about is very new, and people really fear the unknown. And if it's something new, they don't want to be that weirdo that shares all that new stuff and be looked at, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of fear within people right now, and fear to stand up, fear to light up, fear, just fear, and it really keeps us limited. And by us not sharing, by us being closed down, by us staying in fear, we're just absolutely limiting ourselves. Like, so much judgment out there, so much judgment. This is going for quite a while, isn't it? This whole love and fear, right? So we have the crystal spiral, the new way, this frequency available right now. And then we have that old world matrix program of fear, keeping you in fear. fearful to take the leap, fearful to share content that is different from the norm, right? Everything that you're suffering with right now can be healed. And you can save so much time and receive so much energy by stepping out and taking a leap. Like, the leap of faith is pivotal. Yeah. I'm just getting, don't you want to know you? Like who you really are? Like people are just operating right now and it's not who they truly are. It's all these things that control them, right? And that they're embodying right now because you're sitting in that frequency. You know, entities, demons, freaking curses, you know, limiting beliefs, you know, discordant energies, you know, these archonic webs, right? These reptilian programs, these hackers, these distortions, these interferences, these resistances, they're all within you. They're attached to your field. They're controlling you. And you think it's you, but it's not. Like, it's really cool. I mean, it's not really cool. And it does get frustrating for me to know what is available and people are too scared to step out and even like try it. But it's all a lesson for me. Like everything that we experience in this reality right now is a lesson. Everything, right? Everything. So all we need to do is just be in that now moment and serve ourselves, because that's how we serve humanity. And I don't mean serving self like going down and having going to the club and buying a big roast dinner and, you know, an expensive cocktail or a nice pair of shoes. I don't mean that. I mean respecting yourself, honoring yourself, giving to yourself energetically, investing in this. There are so many different walls in this. So many different walls. I remember years and years ago, I learned about the heart wall, but there is so much more than a heart wall. I've got like, I don't know how many pages in the Merkaba code that came through, all these different walls. Walls for everything, walls for the whole absolute code. Like there is so many walls up right now. Yeah. So I'm giving you a lifeline. That's what I'm told. Like this is a lifeline to get your life back and have a fun experience in this reality. At the same time while dissolving and dismantling that freaking matrix. I'm sick of it. That's an old story. I'm sick of watching the news. No, I don't watch the news, but scrolling through TikTok and seeing all the latest things that are happening. And, you know, it's just like, that's the news to me. Sometimes I just have to scroll extra fast when I see people talking about all these different separation programs. I like seeing the people and their truth, like connecting with people and not seeing Matrix story reruns, like, because that's just pointless dribble that keep people contained and keep us creating more of it, you know? So turn the news off. I haven't watched the news ever. Like I've always disliked the news because it's a program. We are programmed people. We need to get out of that matrix of separation into wholeness. Anyway, I could just keep talking all day. So what are we doing now? Let me have some water. Yeah. So if you've resonated with anything in this, please give me a like. You know, share this content with others in other spiritual groups, new age groups, whatnot. You know, we want to empower people and awaken people to the truth. Like, people right now are awake to the deception in the matrix, okay? But we want to awaken them to the truth, right? Because everything in the matrix is deception. It's all smoke and mirrors. And thank God you guys are awake to that deception, but we need to awaken you to the truth. And the truth is magical, right? So we need to plant these wisdom codes, right? So when the time is right, beings will see this, right? And they will absorb this. And this is this energy from the crystal realm, right? So this information is healing, okay? So I'm being shown this YouTube, this webinar is like a seed, right? So we are watching this and we might not resonate with everything, right? We might just, but this information goes into, like, it is absorbed, right, to your spirit, right? Your mind, body, spirit. And when it's meant to be activated, it will, right? Okay, I'm getting it's working right away, right? It's working right away, these wisdom codes. So we want to empower every being that we can with this information so we can play our part, right? How you assist, it doesn't matter because it's divine. Whether or not you choose to join the Patreon, that's okay. Whether or not you choose to share this YouTube video or the link for the webinar, it's up to you. You know, it's like, it's your choice. It's your choice. But these wisdom codes, this information that's come through from this Christ frequency, this is healing in itself. Okay? So information, knowledge, right, is power. Everything is just a storyline in the matrix, right? Anyway, I'm not going to teach too much because that's all for the Patreon, isn't it? But I'm just being shown that whole Adam and Eve story in relation to that apple. And look, the basics is that they had a choice, just like you had a choice, have a choice right now. They made the choice to have divine knowledge. They ate, well, Eve ate from the tree of knowledge. That female, that divine, she ate from the tree of knowledge because she wanted to know who she truly was. Now, finally, we get the chance to explore that and find out, because this is, I'm just being shown, like, this is the apple. Do you choose to stay in the simulation and just like pretend everything's great in that fake ass Garden of Eden? Like, or do you really want to know who you are and the truth of who you are, like as a divine being? Like, this is, they're just showing me. I'm being shown Snow White where she takes the bite of the apple. So isn't that beautiful? It's just so beautiful. It's just so, and the fact that you're seeing this, it's like, this is like, I'm just a reflection of you. Like, I'm you, leading you back to your truth. Like, it's so weird. Like, it's crazy. But like, that's the thing. That tree of knowledge. And that's what this is. This is the wisdom attained from the tree of knowledge, right? That's what this is. This is the crystal core, the truth. So yeah, it was an absolute pleasure to connect with you all, those watching right now in this moment and those people watching the replay. We know that time is an illusion. There is no such thing as linear time. So whenever you are watching this, you are in the now with me. And And this is an open invitation for you to come and join and align with me and receive this frequency that I have access to, and work at shifting this reality, because I've had enough of it. It's boring. It's dark. It's, now we get that choice and that, yeah. I'm just seeing free will. Free will. This is the actual choice that you've been waiting for. On that old world system, you do not have free will. You are locked into an old system that was created just like a computer program to control you, to contain you. But it is. Yeah. Now they're switching free will around. It's like, will you be free? Will you be free? What will you choose? What will you choose? And I think that may be all for today. A lot of divine stuff came through. So let me know too in the comments if you're like who's watching now, if you're watching the replay. I know Dee's watching. And yeah, so just comment, say hi, tell me where you're watching from. Because the goal here is for all of us to anchor this light all around the planet. So it'll be very interesting to see who is seeing this, and where they're from, because we want to get this information out far and wide. We want to plant those seeds, those illuminations, right? This is what we've all been waiting for. This is like the great awakening, just like beings all around this planet have been suffering, purging, releasing the best they can. And yeah, and it's like, this is what we've been waiting for, because you are source incarnate on the ground. Now it's time for us to light up and go home, to tune into that source, to tune into that crystal frequency, your Christ avatar. Oh my God, there's so much magic. I have so much cool stuff to share, and I never know where this is going to go. So I'm just feeling absolutely blessed to connect with you guys and share this information. I've learned quite a few new things in this, and Dee, yeah, I'll probably be watching the replay too, because things come through and complete new connections come through. So these lives are always enjoyable to do and exciting, because I always learn new things come together, and it's like, oh my God, wow, like this whole new angle, you know what I mean? It's like this whole new connection. So it's time for us to connect, to collaborate. I'm doing what I've come here to do, and I'm communicating my truth, so other beings can connect to that, so they can find their truth too. But that's it. So important to take that leap of faith and invest in yourself, and really see money as no object, because money is just energy, and you're going to receive so much energy soon if you decide to align with us. So, blessings. Thanks for watching. Bye.